Hello garden people! I'm here at the garden with my friend Michael, who's agreed to shoot the video of the garden update. So I believe it's May 1st or 2nd, so early of May this week. And the garden is going great. I think the last time we talked it was the end of March. And I put in some spinach seeds, some other lettuce seeds, some arugula, but basically nothing was growing. So we can see the fruits of that. The spinach is coming up really well. It's staggered throughout the garden, but here's an example of a bed that's coming in just perfect. And I've been kind of munching on it as I go along, and it's great. So when I do go to harvest it, I use a hand scythe, so I can kind of show you that. It's kind of a fun way to not disturb the roots too much. Well, I can just show you. I'm missing my pail, but yeah, you get some sort of basket and just cut it like that, and that's a salad right there. So that's very exciting, and there's also a lot of other exciting things going on. So we've had the best flower bloom of all the trees this year in the garden to date. And it's the 5th year. You can see just the residual flowers of this plum tree. And I'll show you some videos. When it was in full bloom, there were dozens and dozens of different kinds of bees flying around, pollinating the tree. And hopefully there's a pretty good fruit set this year, because this other plum tree, I think this is the Toka plum, has some flowers, not quite so many, but quite a few. And then the oldest plum tree in the corner also had a few flowers this year. So all very exciting. And what also brings me to is the peach tree over here. So the peach tree looks absolutely beautiful. You can see all of the flowers with kind of the dark centers and the light pink exterior. I've seen a few bees on it, not a ton to be honest, but it's just a beautiful tree, and hopefully it sets a pretty good crop this year. Many of the other trees, like this pear tree and the apple tree, haven't really flowered, but the strawberries are starting to come in very strong. You can see a lot of them down here, and they're just all throughout the garden. The asparagus are starting to come up pretty nicely. We have the currants in full flower of different varieties throughout the garden. And then we also have the honeyberries. And if you've watched the channel before, you know I love honeyberries. Honeyberries are great. There's one bush here, and you see this one is just slightly more delayed. It's probably a early to mid-season honeyberry, and I think this is the Yeasberry Solo, which is a good name. And yeah, it's putting on lots of flowers. Some fruit set is already occurring, and then the biggest honeyberry is over here, which is, I think this is the berry blue. Could be tundra. I'm not very good at keeping track of the names of them, but yeah, this one's just huge. It's almost, you know, up to my top belly, so up to my diaphragm, and it's already setting fruit. It's looking really good. And so that's really exciting. I think the honeyberries are at the point where they're really starting to come into their own, should have a pretty reasonable fruit set. And you can see I've done some stool layering this past fall. So here's a honeyberry that actually propagated from one of the other honeyberries, and it's coming in really well. So that's super exciting. Lots to look forward to in the garden. Overall, it's coming in really well, and I thought I would just give a quick spring update. I guess before we go, a couple more things. The grape leaves are coming in really well. There's an example of that over here. So you can see these kind of beautiful rosettes. They're a little bit different colors. So this must be a red grape, and so it's kind of reddish tinged leaves. Some of them you can actually see the flower forming. I don't see it on this particular variety, but on the other end there's one with the flower. And if you look over here, kind of a greener variety of grape, both domestic grapes. So that should be good. Hopefully there's better fruit set this year. I definitely had some problems with black rot last year, but we'll see. There should be plenty of berries no matter what, even if the grapes don't work out too well. Yeah, the currants are all in here, and garlic chives. I split the horseradish this year for the first time. I've been making kimchi at home, so I've started planting more daikon radishes to actually use in the kimchi. So that's exciting. And yeah, there's a lot more plants to come. I'll try to show some videos of the bees that I've seen in the garden, some of the other insects, like the wasps I've seen combing through the spinach, eating whatever grubs might have been there. So a lot of ecosystem services. But yeah, it's a beautiful day at the garden, and I just thought I would give an update of where we are at with the season. So hope you have a good day.